Welcome back. It's Retro Forward Dave, and this is some Retro Forward pickups. Um, I've been heavily collecting recently original Xbox titles for a few reasons. One, the original Xbox has an excellent library of games, and two, they're super cheap right now. Pretty much everywhere I go, I am finding something of good to excellent quality. And I've managed to pick up even some of the more rarer games on the system for far less than what you would typically be buying them off of like eBay or online from any one of those retro game stores. Um, so this is mostly going to be an Xbox pickups video. However, I did happen to pick up one PlayStation 3 game. I am almost completely done at this point collecting for my PlayStation 3, at least for now, until maybe the prices start to get really, really low. Um, but this is one that I have been looking for quite some time. And so I am going to start off to get the PlayStation 3 game out of the way. And that is the Simpsons game. The Simpsons game on the PlayStation 3 is somewhat very hard to find. I've been looking for this for a long time now. I have it actually on my PSP, which is how I first played the game. And it was released on many different systems, but for some reason I can never find this for the PS3. I happened to luck out this weekend and find it, and I found it for really cheap. If you do go look online, you will see it is not a cheap game to buy used. I paid $4.99 for it, which was amazing, and it is complete. Manual's minty fresh. The game is beautifully looking too. Um, it is one of the better Simpsons games, definitely, and there's some really cool like mini games in there. One that even resembles kind of like a Guitar Hero type thing towards the end of the game. Definitely worth checking out. It is definitely not something that I've come across a lot recently. Let me know if you guys have had an easier time finding it, but this is one that has been in my collection, looking to add to my collection for quite some time, and I regret not picking it up sooner. I am very happy to have this off the bucket list. I actually only have one more game that I am looking for actively on the PlayStation 3, which is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. If anybody has a copy and you want to hook me up, leave a message in the comments below because I would love you for that. But yeah, very happy about this one. Now, moving along, original Xbox. So there is a lot of games here, and from my opinion, I'd say 99% of them are all good to great games. Not all of them are super rare, mind you, but I'm just very happy to be adding them to my collection. Like I said, I just started collecting for the original Xbox, and so moving along, here's my first pickup this week, and that is Simpsons Road Rage. It is like Crazy Taxi, and it is all Simpsons, and it is a lot of fun. I originally played this on the GameCube. It was released on the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, and the GameCube. No matter what version you get, you will be very happy with this game. If you're not a fan of Crazy Taxi, then it's probably not for you, but it might save you if you're a fan of The Simpsons because there's a lot of humor in this game, and I played it nonstop. I beat the game on the GameCube, loved it, highly recommend it. It is super cheap. It is not very hard to find. But funny enough, I just never picked it up until recently. So yeah, moving along. So my next pickup is another game that surprisingly back in the day, with a few exceptions, uh, most of these games in not even the series necessarily, just in this franchise were just horrible. They were really bad. There's maybe I think a few that I can think of before recently where the series actually became quite good, and that is Batman. Batman Begins. Now, this game I actually really quite liked it, and most people at the time of this game coming out were kind of like, "Oh, another Batman game," because for the most part, from my experience anyway, I didn't quite enjoy a lot of them, with the exceptions of Batman on the NES. Um, Return of the Joker was also a pretty good game too, and Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. for me, those were the only ones that I personally enjoyed. And then after that, some were hit and miss, and some were just god awful. But Batman Begins was quite a good game, and actually quite a good movie license game, which kind of brought more faith back into Batman. And then obviously Rocksteady's made all the Arkham Knight, Arkham City games, and those are, from my opinion, some of the best Batman games that you could play. This one is definitely worth picking up on the original Xbox. Now the next one, I have not played it yet, so I really can't judge in terms of the gameplay. I'm a big fan of Indiana Jones, so this is Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb on the original Xbox. Now, from what I remember when this game came out, I vaguely remember getting some pretty good reviews. Again, I have not checked it out. I literally just picked these games up this weekend, so bear with me here. But yeah, let me know if you guys have played it, what you guys think on this game, because it looks pretty good from what I see. And again, I don't recall a lot of people giving this game a lot of hate, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. And like all the games I pick up, I don't typically like to get games that aren't complete on the original Xbox, so I will make an exception here and there, but these are all complete games. Now, this next one, bear with me if I do not pronounce the title right, but it is Kakuto Chojin, Black Alley Brutal. Weird name, but it's a fighting game, and it looked pretty interesting, and I remember watching Metal Jesus talk about this game and saying it was pretty good. So obviously it's an original, only available on Xbox, so it's an exclusive. And yeah, I rarely see this one out and about these days, so I picked it up on the super cheap. I am definitely looking forward to getting into trying this one out. And the next one is The Suffering, The Tie That Binds. So this is the sequel to the original game called The Suffering. Again, I've never played this one. I remember playing the first one thinking this is a freaking awesome game and very disturbing. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It's Midway, and yeah, lots of gore, lots of violence, and that's what you kind of want from a game like this, so yeah, very happy with that one. And for those of you Marvel comic fans, I picked up The Punisher on the Xbox, and this game is fucking awesome. I used to play this back in the day, and it's funny. There's a lot of Batman games that came out and Spider-Man games, and I really don't remember a lot of Punisher games, other than I think maybe the one on the NES. That's the only one I can think of. But yeah, this game was pretty awesome, and I am very happy to have this because it is a good time. So, I have to say I love pawn shops. I found the next two at a pawn shop, and very happy about it. Now, I've never played this, but Final Fight Streetwise by Capcom on the original Xbox. Another one, I used to love the Final Fight series on the Super Nintendo, so I'm kind of, Final Fight on the Xbox. It's back! Ooh, yeah, let's check this out. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer, and I paid, I think, $2 for it, so definitely worth picking up. If the game sucks, you know what? I spent $2 on a game. Really, I could do worse. Now, another one that is just one of my all-time favorites on the system is The Warriors. This is by Rockstar, and this is, in my opinion, one of my favorite games by Rockstar. I believe the version on the Xbox is the better version, but it was also released on the PlayStation 2 and the PSP. I played the PSP version. Obviously, on the PSP, it's not going to be quite as good visually, but I do believe... this one is 720p on the Xbox if you're using component cables, so definitely going to get a little bit better visuals on this one. Very great game, and obviously it's based off of the movie, so if you haven't seen the movie, you should rectify that immediately because it is also a classic film, and as you can see, it is complete, and it's a minty fresh manual. Alright, so we're moving in to the one game that I am pretty sure is horrible, but it is also a rare Xbox game. And that is Barbie Horse Adventure Wild Horse Rescue. Um, so I typically probably wouldn't have picked this up if it was what it typically goes for, but because it was super cheap and because it's a rare game, and ideally I would like to own all the rare Xbox games, I had to pick it up, and I have not checked it out either, and I probably will play it at one point in time. Any one of you who has played this game, tell me how bad it is. Or if it's actually good, let me know, because as far as I'm aware, this game is probably going to be the worst game in my Xbox collection, or probably one of the worst games I own, period. Um, but yeah, I will actually check this out at some point in time. So now the next two games are something that I'm actually very happy I picked up as well. I am a big fan of any time controversy gets involved with any type of gaming, and both of these games were banned. So the first one, I'm sure anyone who knows this will already know what these two games are, but this one is Manhunt. Yes, and another Rockstar game, funny enough, brutally violent, just, oh, the stuff you can do in this game, it's kind of disturbing, actually. But the first one, because there's two Manhunt games. This one here for me was just like, it's intense. And look at this cover, like, Jesus, like, what the hell were they thinking? And obviously got banned. I know from being here in Canada, we could still get the game, but certain retailers actually had to put a sticker on the cover and say, no, this is not rated M, this is 18A. It is an adult-only game. And it definitely seems like it, just because the amount of violence and mayhem that you can cause is just insane. Yeah, Manhunt. So, the other band game I got, which obviously Manhunt is one of them. Here's the other one. It's The Guy Game. Yes, The Guy Game. A trivia game set during spring break where, guess what? You can probably, if you're good enough, get to see some boobies. That's part of why it's banned, but not completely. There's a little bit more of the controversy involved with that game. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but it's not a horrible trivia game. It's very immature, obviously. But you know what? I never see this out and about, so I had to pick it up. And yeah, The Guy Game. And last but certainly not least, one that I've been meaning to add to my collection for basically since I started collecting for the original Xbox, and I am very, very, very happy I got it, especially for a super, super cheap price, is Conker Live and Reloaded. So definitely, I would say, and most people would agree with me, one of the absolute best games you can get on the original Xbox. It is by Rare, and it is a rare game, funny enough. So Conker Live and Reloaded is actually technically two games. It is a remastered version of Conker's Bad Fur Day. Now, they did tone down some of the some of the dirty jokes and whatnot in that, but visually it is so much more beautiful to look at than the original Conker game. Now, obviously, you're comparing N64 to the Xbox, so doesn't quite compare apples to apples. The other actual game is, which I guess you could say is Live and Reloaded, is more of like it was online. I don't think you can play it online anymore, but it's a third-person type shooter. You can still play it, I think, local co-op, and I think you can do it with bots, which kind of saves the game from being completely unplayable. But, I mean, just having Conker Bad Fur Day in HD is awesome. And it is not a cheap game. It is, if not, it is definitely one of the rarer games to get on the Xbox. Not so much that I think people just love this game and they're never getting rid of it. I mean, if I had it on the original Xbox when it came out, I would definitely have never sold it. So very happy to add that. And yeah, so those were the games that I picked up this past week / weekend. So let me know what you guys thought. If I made any mistakes or you guys just want to argue with me, leave it in the comment section below. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, let me know. And yeah, this is Retro Forward Dave, and Retro Forward. Bye.